Whitney Cerak was just days away from her 19th birthday, an ordinary college student with a bright future ahead of her. Laura Van Ryn, 22, was also a student, known for her kindness and close bond with her family. The two young women didn't know each other well, but their lives would become tragically intertwined in a way no one could have ever imagined. In April 2006, a group of students and staff from Taylor University in Indiana was traveling in a university van when the unthinkable happened. A truck driver, who later admitted to being distracted, drifted across the median and collided head-on with their van at high speed. The impact was catastrophic. 5 people lost their lives that day, including a teacher and 4 students. At the scene, emergency responders found a young blonde woman unconscious but alive. Among the wreckage, a purse was found next to her, identifying her as Laura Van Ryn. Laura's family was devastated but relieved to know their daughter had survived. They rushed to the hospital, where doctors warned them that she had suffered extensive injuries, was in a coma, and might not look like herself. For 5 weeks, the Van Ryns sat by her hospital bed, holding her hand, talking to her, and documenting every small sign of progress in an online blog. They believed she was slowly waking up, defying the odds. Friends and family poured in their love and prayers, convinced that Laura was fighting her way back. Meanwhile, Whitney Cerak's family was grieving. They had been told Whitney had died at the scene of the crash. The grief was unbearable, but they accepted it, planning her funeral and laying her to rest. The Van Ryns even described Whitney's beautiful funeral to Laura, who was still in a coma, hoping it would stir her to wake up. And as weeks passed amazingly, Laura would do just that. But something was off. She seemed confused, struggling to respond to familiar names or questions. Then, one day, she was given a piece of paper and asked to write her name. With a shaky hand, she wrote 5 letters. Whitney. At first, the Van Ryns were confused. But as the young woman continued to insist that her name was not Laura, the horrifying truth began to surface. The girl they had been caring for, the one they believed was their daughter, was not Laura at all. Authorities quickly ordered a check of dental records, and the confirmation came. The girl in the hospital bed was Whitney Cerak, not Laura Van Ryn. A tragic mix-up had occurred. In the chaos of the accident scene, with the victims having similar features, the responders had misidentified them. Laura had actually passed away at the scene, and Whitney had survived. Whitney's family was overjoyed to learn she was alive. But their happiness was tempered by the knowledge that another family was now experiencing fresh heartbreak. The Van Ryns were shattered. They had lost Laura twice, once in the accident and again when they realized the girl they had been caring for wasn't her. But instead of bitterness, the two families found something unexpected, an unbreakable bond. In the years that followed, both families searched for ways to make sense of what had happened. They co-wrote a book, Mistaken Identity, sharing their journey of grief, faith, and resilience. Whitney struggled with guilt, knowing she had survived while Laura had not. But the Van Ryns reassured her time and time again she was meant to be here. Today, Whitney has built a life beyond the accident, but she carries the weight of that day with her. She honors Laura's memory by living fully, knowing that in another world their places could have been reversed. As for the Van Ryns, they still grieve Laura, but they also gained something unexpected. Another daughter in Whitney. She may not be Laura, but through tragedy they found a connection that will never be broken.